Close your eyes and listen. At first, it's the sound that defines the island, a low, mournful foghorn rolling across a dark water. Then comes the metallic scream of trains far below the surface, the thunder of wheels through tunnels carved into stone. Above that, the relentless percussion of millions of footsteps striking pavement in hurried rhythm. Engines growl, sirens slice the air. Neon light bleeds across glass towers. This is New York, a living machine of steel, speed, and sleepless ambition. But imagine something unsettling. Imagine peeling it back. Not just the skyscrapers, but the avenues, the asphalt, the subways, scraping away every layer until the island beneath stands exposed again. Raw, jagged, unrecognizable, no towers, no traffic, no skyline. Only wind, forest, and shoreline. Now turn the dial back more than 360 years. The noise collapses into silence, then rebuilds itself into something older. You hear the thud of a shipbuilder's mallet striking oak, the long rasp of a saw cutting timber, wind moving through dense forests that once blanketed the island, waves slapping a clean shoreline, gulls circling overhead. The Lenape people know this land as Mannahatta, the island of many hills. And in 1660, it still looks the part. Ridges, streams, wetlands, and thick woodland pressing close to the water's edge. But at the island's southern tip, something improbable is rising. A settlement, small, muddy, crowded, and already dangerous with ambition. Steep Dutch gables cut into the skyline. Windmills turn lazily in the sea breeze. Smoke curls from chimneys. Ships crowd the harbor like teeth. This is New Amsterdam, not yet a great city, but already behaving like one. It isn't built on the royal decree or religious mission. It's built on trade. Step forward to the southernmost point, where today tourists gather near Battery Park, and you find Fort Amsterdam. Not a shining castle, but a hard, practical stronghold of earth and stone, part military post, part warehouse, part corporate headquarters, because that's what this colony truly is, a business venture run by the Dutch West India Company. Inside the fort, chaos has structure. Clerks catalog mountains of beaver pelts, the brown gold driving the global hat trade. Guards monitor gates, sailors demand payment. Merchants argue in Dutch, English, German, and French. Deals are made fast, disputes faster, and overseeing it all stands Director General Peter Stuyvesant. Silver-banded wooden leg, iron will, and the unenviable task of keeping this volatile outpost profitable. Step beyond the fort, and the town opens into a broad common ground, a gathering space that will later become Bowling Green. Today it's the colony's outdoor living room. Markets fill the air with barter and noise. Cattle change hands. News spreads by voice, not paper. Decisions that shape the colony's survival are hammered out over rough tables stained with beer and smoke. From there, follow the shoreline along Pearl Street, named for the oyster shells that once shimmered along Manhattan's coast. This is where the merchant elite live, and their homes shatter any illusion of frontier poverty. Tall brick houses rise shoulder to shoulder. Stepped gables climb toward the sky. Some bricks arrive from Europe as ship ballast, meaning even the walls are imported pieces of a global network. Inside, wealth speaks loudly. Persian rugs, Chinese porcelain, heavy oak cabinets filled with ledgers. In New Amsterdam, status isn't inherited, it's traded. Your rank depends on ships, cargo, and connections across oceans. Verse is the city's first language. But turn on to Stone Street, and the illusion of elegance dissolves. This is the first paved road in the colony. built because the mud was swallowing the town whole. Residents funded it themselves, a sign of the settlement's practical mindset. Fix the problem. Don't wait for permission. Here, taverns dominate the street. Too many, some say. But taverns are more than drinking holes. They're stock exchanges, hiring halls, newsrooms, and social laboratories. Step inside at dusk, and the air is thick with roasted meat, pipe smoke, and damp wool. Sailors spin Caribbean tales. Farmers negotiate timber prices. Refugees listen for opportunity. And it's here that New Amsterdam's defining social experiment quietly unfolds. Tolerance. But not idealistic tolerance. Practical tolerance. When Jewish refugees arrive in 1654, fleeing persecution, Stuyvesant wants them expelled. Company directors in Holland overrule them, not out of compassion, but calculation. Skilled migrants mean profit. That decision sets a precedent. Faith matters less than economic value. Contribution buys belonging. And that transactional acceptance becomes the seed of New York's future multicultural identity. Look uphill, and windmills turn, not decorative, but functional. They grind grain, support construction, power growth. Everywhere you hear industry, saws, hammers, rope strain, sailcloth snapping. This is a city of makers. Infrastructure comes before monuments, wharves, warehouses, drainage, dikes, even a canal carved through town, allowing boats to reach warehouses directly. That canal will one day become Broad Street. Today, imagine cargo boats gliding where bankers will later walk. But prosperity casts long shadows. At the bottom of the colony's hierarchy are enslaved Africans and others brought through the Atlantic system. Some live under a Dutch condition called half-freedom, able to own land and marry, yet still bound to company labor when demanded. Small farms held by early black landholders rise north of town, forming both community and buffer zone on a tense frontier, because tension defines the colony's borders. Conflict with the Lenape simmers as settlement expands into ancestral land. Trade enriches the Dutch, but encroachment breeds violence. Fear becomes architecture. Head north, and you reach the Wall, the structure that will give Wall Street its name. A rough palisade of timber and earth stretching from river to river. Not grand, not invincible, but urgent. Citizen soldiers patrol beside it. Bakers, merchants, blacksmiths with muskets, watching the wilderness beyond. They expect danger from the land. History delivers it from the sea. In 1664, English warships appear in the harbor. Cannons aimed squarely at Fort Amsterdam. Surrender or burn? Stuyvesant wants to fight. The merchants do the math. War means destruction of warehouses, ships, profit, everything they built. And so, under pressure from his own people, Stuyvesant signs the surrender. The transfer is swift. New Amsterdam becomes New York, renamed for the Duke of York. But here's the twist. The English inherit the city. They don't reinvent it. The trade networks remain. The diversity remains. The commercial mindset remains. Even under new rule, New York stays more pluralistic than other English colonies, less rigid than Boston, less ideological than Philadelphia, because its foundations were never religious or aristocratic. They were transactional.